Hi, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's class we are going to be learning decision trees, a beginner's guide to AI and machine learning. Remember, this is a series. We've been learning some of the AI methods. So we've learned linear regression, multiple linear regression, and logistic regression. So if you have not seen those videos, I encourage you to go and see all those videos. But what we are talking about today is decision trees, and I think that you guys will learn a lot. So just like a recap of what we learned last class, again, if you have not seen those videos, please go and watch them. So we talk about linear logistic regression, and we even wrote some codes and all of that. So please go and watch that if you have not seen that. So in today's class we're going to be going through like all of these sections. So the first question that we're going to be answering is, what are decision trees? And I'm going to be I will try to explain it in a very simple way that everyone will understand. Then how does decision tree works, right? So how decision tree works, how do we use decision tree to teach our machine, right? So then we're going to talk about advantages of decision trees. So like what make decision trees really cool to use, and disadvantages of decision tree. Like what are the things that that are not really cool with decision tree that might be difficult for us to walk through. Okay, so then we're going to compare decision trees with other machine learning models, like linear regression, multiple linear regression, and logistic regression. So we want to compare decision tree with all those models so that we know the difference, and we know when to use decision tree, and when to use all the other models, right? And the question is, why do we even need decision trees when we have all other AI models? Okay, so then we're going to discuss application of decision tree. Then we're going to go through some coding. Okay, so I will explain decision tree, and we are also going to code. Okay, so nice. So let's just get into it. So the first question is, what are decision trees? Okay, so a decision tree is a supervised learning algorithm. If you have been watching my video, I want to explain that you know what supervised learning means. So supervised learning means that you teach someone and you supervise the learning process, and that's in AI. So like you give your AI data and you label it, so but if you give your AI data and you don't label it, that is unsupervised learning, right? So supervised learning is if you give your AI data and you label it, just like teaching a baby how to identify animals. You give the picture to the baby and you tell the baby this is lion, right? So for unsupervised is if you give the picture to the baby and you somehow you expect the baby to figure out what it is, right? So this is supervised, and it's used for both classification and regression tasks. Okay, so I taught you guys regression, and then classification, is more of like true or false, animal or no animal, just like what we did in logistic regression. So it works by splitting data into branches on decision from input, right? So it works on branches. That's why the name called decision tree. So I will show you guys an example of a decision tree so that you kind of understand what is going on, right? So look at this. Let's say someone wants to buy a car, right? And they want to make decision, so if you want to use decision tree, that is the AI model in decision tree, so this is how it will look like. So the decision tree will first ask you question: is the color red? If you are someone that like color, they'll say yes, good. Is the model greater than 2000? So that means like the car was made after 2010. You say yes, buy it, right? Then it will come and say, oh no, if it's not greater than 2010, come here. If the mileage is less than 50,000 kilometers, buy. If not buy. Okay, so you see, you are making decisions. It's more like a flow chart, like algorithm, and then in here, if the color is not red, if the color is yellow, but if the car is Ferrari, that's good. Buy it. If the car is Ferrari, you don't care what the color is, right? So but if the color is yellow and the car is not Ferrari, don't buy it. So you see, this is how the algorithm work. It's put all the questions like in kind of a tree, and use that to kind of answer the AI problem. Okay, so again, we are going to implement our own decision tree, and we are going to print out the tree so that you will see what the algorithm is actually doing behind the scene, and it's going to be really cool, trust me. Okay, so how does this decision tree work? Okay, so each node asks a yes or no question. You remember, just like what we did here. Is it red, blah blah blah, right? So each node is this. So this is a node, right? So okay, so that's what node is. So each node asks yes or no question to split data into branches, leading to leaf nodes that provide the final prediction. So the leaf node, please don't forget, the leaf node is the end of the branch. So just imagine like a tree. You have branches and branches, and at the end of the branch you have a leaf, right? And that leaf, the leaf has no branch, so that's the end of that trace. So in here, this is a leaf, that's the end. This is a leaf, this is a leaf, this one is a leaf, so the end of the tree is a leaf. Okay, so the leaf node that provide the final prediction. Example is deciding what activity to do with friends on weather and interest, right? So you want to determine what to do with your friends if your friends came over, based on the weather and based on interest. So let's look at that. Okay, so this is an example of a decision tree. Another example, so let's say that your friend came over and you want to decide what to do based on whether it's raining or not raining and the interest. So let's say, is it raining? Yes, it's raining. So this is a decision, right? So you're asking, so this is a node asking you a question, and you say yes, then you say, okay, it's raining, fine. Do you like a board game? Yes. Well, let's go and play Monopoly. So if it's raining, do you like board game? You say no, then let's go and watch movie. Okay, you see, something like that, So, and if it's not raining, do you like sports? Yes, let's go and play soccer. If you don't like sports, let's go and play, let's go to park. All right, then again, these are the leaf nodes. The final decision are the leaf node. Okay, so you see, even like without the AI, if you want to make decision with your friend, or you want to make any decision, you can also use this idea of decision tree. Okay, so that is how decision tree works. Hopefully you guys are able to conceptualize this. Okay, so then if this is how decision tree works, so then how do we use it? Where are the places that what are the applications in the field that this can be used? First, customer segmentation, grouping customers based on their purchasing behavior, right? So you can collect the list of people like your customers, then you keep asking them questions, then you kind of want to know what product they will like, right? So we can use decision tree to do that. Then in medical diagnosis, just like in logistic regression, we can also use this to predict disease symptoms, right? So let's say you go to the hospital, they will ask you, do you have headache? Yes or no? Are you coughing? Yes or no? Do you have temperature? Yes or no? Then based on that, they will kind of tell you, oh, you have malaria, oh, you have cold, oh, you have this and that, right? So they use something like this for credit scoring. Okay, assessing credit risk. So if like a bank want to borrow you money, they will ask you some questions, like what, are you employed or not, yes or no, how much do you collect as salary if you're employed, yes or no. If you're not employed, how do you get money? Do you make money from somewhere, yes or no. So they will put all of this together to kind of assess if they should give the person loan or not. So for weather prediction too, we can also use logistic regression, decision tree, to make a prediction for weather, to say is the temperature high, yes or no, is this and that, something like that. Then we can use it for marketing, like predicting if user will click on an advertisement. Okay, so now we see the applications of decision tree. Okay, so what are the advantages of decision tree? The first one, it's easy to understand and interpret. You see, like when I drew the tree, it's really easy to understand, but like logistic regression and linear regression is like equation, like someone might get confused, but this one you can see, you can just conceptualize the tree and all of that. It's easy to understand. So that's one of the advantages, right? It handles both numerical and categorical data, right? So if you're trying to use it to work on numbers, it works. And if you're trying to use it on category, let's say is the car red or blue or something like that, that's what category means, right? So you can use this for that. Okay, so it is easy to visualize data clearly again with the tree. So then you're going to see we are going to develop our own decision tree, and we're going to visualize it, and it's going to be really, really cool. Okay, so then the next thing, it requires little data processing. Okay, so now what are the disadvantages of decision tree? This is supposed to be disadvantages. Okay, please just that's supposed to be D, but anyways and that's supposed to be S. All right, so it's prone to overfitting and errors, like overfitting or errors with complex data, like meaning that sometimes it might give you like it might learn too much of the data, but now when you go and test it with a different data set, it will not give you good result. Okay, sometimes, so it can be unstable, right? Small change in data can lead to different trees. Okay, less effective with imbalanced data set, right? So if you have data set that is not really good, decision tree might not work for it. Okay, then the last one, large decision is very difficult to interpret, right? So let's say that you have like a decision tree that has like almost like 1 million branches from top to down before you get to the leaf, right? So for you to now go from the top, now go through all the leaves to understand everything, it will be difficult, right? So it is good if you like decision tree is good, if you don't have large decision to make, like if you have few decision to make in your data set. Okay, so now let's compare decision tree with other models that we know. All right, so the first thing is, so for our multiple regression, it can predict continuous outcome like baby height and all of that. It can tell you, the height of the baby, maybe like is 3 feet. Why can't I write 3? Wait, let me see. Whatever. So yeah, so multiple regression can predict continuous outcome. Logistic can only predict categorical outcome, so like yes or no something. But decision tree, it can actually predict continuous and categorical outcome. You see, that's why it is really good, right? It does what logistic does and what multiple regression does. Okay, so another one is multiple regression. It only handles linear relationship. logistic handle linear relationship, while decision tree handle both linear and non-linear relationships. So I think I explained this before, you know. So if, wow, I think there's something wrong with this. Yeah, so if you have a graph like this, and maybe like you have a line like this, maybe like this is the height of the baby, that's supposed to be age, and this is the age of the baby, right? So the height of the baby, you know, is linear, like meaning that as the age is increasing, the height is increasing to some extent, right? But if you have a data that, you know, maybe, you know, like the relationship is kind of, you know, not straight or something like that, that is non-linear, right? So if you have non-linear data, this will not work, right? And this will not work for it, but this will definitely work for it. So this one can handle both linear and non-linear relationship. Okay, and I think that's the end of this video. So in the next video, we are going to implement a decision tree, and we are going to implement the decision tree on Titanic data. So like we all know, like Titanic, you know, that some people went into a boat and they, you know, like the boat crashed, you know, like a sank, right? So we are going to design a decision tree that can predict like what sort of people are most likely to survive if something like that happen again, you know. So like we want to look at the data set and make decision that, oh yeah, if something like that this happen again, and if you are in a boat, you know, based on this information about yourself, are you going to survive or not? So, and I think that is going to be really cool. So if you don't want to miss that, I suggest that you should just click on the next video and also subscribe to my channel, right, so that you don't miss new videos coming in future. So see you in the next video for the implementation.